Hello there, I'm Vivek Atray. Webinars are happening all over the place, by the dozen, by the hundred. Some of us have completed a century of webinars. It's difficult to speak in a webinar compared to in a hall. That's what people say. I speak to many teachers nowadays online. They say their life has become very difficult with the webinar era. With students online instead of in their class, difficult to hold their attention, difficult to be normal, difficult to be in control. What do you need to do? What are the tips to excel in a webinar or an online class? Firstly, get your logistics right. Logistics means your internet, your computer, your placement, your sound. That means everything is in order before you start. You can't keep adjusting things while the webinar is on. I have a simple enough background. I have a plant, I have a painting, I have a book, my favorite book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, and I have a few flowers. It's practiced and it is ready for my webinars. I have made conscious efforts to make sure that my background is suitable. And it becomes easy once you've done it a few times. Then you know where to sit, where to place your things, and how to proceed. Logistics also include a glass of water by the side. So just be sure that you are totally comfortable when you start speaking. The second point, content. Content is the king. That is the key for any public speech. I hold public speaking workshops where I tell people, webinar or live or in the hall, you have to have great content, structured content, ready and almost perfect to use. Depending on the audience, depending on the nature of the topic, depending on how long you're supposed to speak, you need to have your content ready. Sometimes you're speaking in a meeting or in a panel where you get only 3 minutes. Make those 3 minutes count. How do you make those 3 minutes count? Have your punchlines ready. Have your points ready. If you have to speak, for example, on the new education paradigms, say, firstly, blended learning is the key. We have to remember that even when we go back to the classroom, online teaching will continue. Secondly, we have to be adept at this new way of teaching. Teachers need to feel comfortable in front of a camera, and students need to be receptive. Thirdly, learning is still about sharing, joining other students, being in the class, being in the playground. We hope we go back to that. And when we do, let's make that fun and let's make that happen as it used to, so that children grow in a wholesome atmosphere. Get parents, teachers, and students involved as stakeholders in the thinking process. So with a few points on education like this, you can make an impact even in 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute. So just make sure that your thoughts are ready before you start speaking. Then there's another thing, try and speak a little louder when you're speaking on camera. I know your voice might need rest. Go and have a cup of tea after every webinar. And also try and look away from the camera if you can when your turn is not there. Just try and pretend that you're looking at the people, but you're actually looking at a point beyond the camera. It may be a window with some trees, and you can see the breeze blowing the trees around. It could be rain outside, it could be sun. It makes you look at nature and you feel refreshed. Don't sit in a 3-hour or 2-hour Zoom meeting and become a zombie, as one of my friends says. Don't do that. Just be aware of your surroundings at the same time. And listen. Of course, keep listening when you have to. Listening is easier than watching. So look around here and there whenever you can look around here and there. And then your delivery has to be such that it's a little more impactful. Impactful means maybe you throw your voice from the stomach or the diaphragm as theater actors do. So let it boom a little bit. Let it boom a little bit. It's very important to speak a little louder at times. And quotes or points which are punchlines or thrust areas, they must be magnified in their intent coming from within you so that the impact is greater. It's very, very important. Then respect your audience. Make sure you know that people watching are who they are, what kind of audience you have, young, old, educational people, professionals, corporates, government, whoever you speak to. Make sure you talk accordingly. If you need to mix a bit of your mother tongue into English, and make sure that you make a punchline with that. So just be prepared accordingly. Sometimes you have to be stylish and your content has to be very sophisticated. At other times, it has to be earthy and down to earth and connected with the ground realities. So people need to connect with you. Respect the audience, connect with the audience. Make sure that they are happy with what you're saying and doing. And smile a lot. I don't smile enough. I need to smile more when I speak in webinars. But smiling gives you that poise, that grace, that elegance, even that beauty at times. So make sure that you smile and make sure that you make an impact on others with your warmth. The camera is the only device which is emitting whatever you're saying or whatever you're showing or whatever you're looking like. You don't have a physical presence which perhaps emits vibrations when you're in the same room as someone else. Here you got to do it all through the camera in the webinar. So in that webinar, whatever chance you get, make an impact through that trust, through that personality. Even before a camera, your personality can really make a mark. Content, delivery, logistical preparations, and making sure that you make a mark through an impact, through passion, through emotion. Make those important points stay with the audience and tell a few stories. Stories which make people wonder, which make them laugh, which make them smile, which make them say, who's this speaker? I've heard a lot of speakers since the morning. Who is this person? Let me find out more about him or her. Make an impact through a webinar or in life. It's very, very important. Be happy, stay cheerful. I'm Vivek Atray. Thank you very much.